And then when I told another family, she just bawled, just started bawling out, and she was crying. And then the mom looked at her, she's like, that fan would like ask me to take the kids because the parents couldn't take them to trainings all the time. So I picked them up because we all live in San Jose. At first, I even told the parents, like, dude, like, this is like, I can't really be doing this much. We need help. They need to train. We trust you, blah, 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 and this and that. Well, once I dropped the bomb on what happened, the mom looked at her and said, so now you see why every time he dropped you off, we grilled you for almost 15 minutes about what happened, how was your day, this and that, like, because they would grill her. And when they told me that, I was like, I looked at the parents, I hugged her, I hugged the mom, I was like, I'm so grateful that's how you were. Because again, like, you can't give anybody all your trust. Like, I love what I do. I love my students. I'll protect them with my life. As a parent, I'm a dad. Like, I have my kid. You have to protect your kid at all costs. And to just, one, give somebody complete trust and control over your kid. Two, believe somebody over your child with a passion. It blows my mind. Like, what is wrong with people where they are gonna choose this man over their kid?
And there was plenty of kids at our gym that their moms were like a thing with Ernie. Boy, the things that those kids went through because their mom chose Ernie over them.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the MAQ Attack podcast, where martial artists talk about life, past, present, and future, and just how our experience shaped our worlds. And today I have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, my name's Priscilla.
Now, Miss Priscilla, I've known you since you were a little kid. I watched you and a lot of your siblings and family members grow up, and I was very reluctant to even reach out to you for this podcast, but you reached out to me because you got a story to tell. And I wanted to give you that platform to do so. But first, kind of tell the people, who you are, what you've done with martial arts, and kind of what you're doing now in life.
So I started martial arts when I was 5. Started with Taekwondo, did that all the way up until like 10, 11. Transitioned to pancration, while still doing Taekwondo. After that, I just kind of took a break, focused on like basketball. Then came back to Taekwondo, and then just took breaks. Started boxing. Got injured, of course.
That's our story.
All
we do is get injured.
Yeah, got injured, of course. Then took a long break from martial arts in general. Then now I myself coach other people to fight.
That's awesome. Like when I saw that you and obviously Cassie and you guys were still training, doing stuff and doing it for training other people, I thought that was awesome. So yeah, like I remember so I had my own studio, I had my own training program, and I would actually bring my students to come cross train with you guys. And so kind of get this started off, I kind of grew up with my master and I really love what he did, but I grew up in a very conservative studio, very conservative. Everybody was a conservative person, super, to the church, all that stuff. So I really didn't have people that were like me in that studio. I felt very separated. Well, there was a person who was in the martial art world that my mom was somewhat connected to. She knew him. And when I got a chance to meet them, I got very, very excited because this was somebody that was, Latino, somebody that had Latino students and kind of like ghetto like I was. Like it felt more like me. So seeing that, I was very just infatuated with what was going on with you guys. So I kind of looked up to this person very much. Like I wanted to kind of gear myself like my master. I love the old school traditional and what he taught and the values that he taught. But I like that family oriented, almost like down to earth hood kind of like family bond that I kind of saw with you guys a lot, right?
Yeah.
And where I grew up with his kids. I grew up with him, so all this other stuff. So when I found out what happened, it sent me into a dark depression because somebody I looked up to, and again, this is my side, and yours is way different. He did some dark shit. And when I found this out, it's like my whole concept of life, of everything, my whole world kind of got rocked up upside down. Because not only did I have a falling out with my master, but I had a falling out with him. This other person who I kind of looked up to in the way that he did certain things, and I only saw from the outside. Turns out that this turned out to be a kind of evil person. And so I kind of want to give you the opportunity to say, hey, what, was your experience with this individual?
Yes. Starting like when I was younger, my parents put me into Taekwondo because they were splitting up. So it was like they needed help with getting picked up from school. So it was after school program that they wanted us to go to first. And then like we just would be there till 6 p.m. So we tried out a Taekwondo class, whatever it was. We were doing that. Um, I loved it. I loved it from the very first time that I ever stepped on the mat. I just fell in love with it. As I got older, I was like fucking good. I was so fucking
Yes, you
good.
were. Yes, I used to have my students watch you guys and cheer you guys on because like if you guys want to learn how to be good, watch these kids. Like they are awesome. You have to like learn from what these champions are doing. You
Yeah.
were really good. I used to always make my students watch.
Yeah. So like that like fueled me. Like I was like, damn, like all these competitions that I'm going to up to like blue belt, just fucking everybody up. Like I never lasted a full match because the girls would always give up. They would always cry. Like it was just something that I loved. But then like as I got older, like there was weird shit going on with the master that I just like took away like it took away my love for it. He ended up like, you know, like touching us, raping us, certain people, not everybody, but so it just made me want to quit. And at blue belt, my prime, I guess I could say, was like I remember telling my mom one day, like, I hate it here. I want to quit. Um, my mom, like, she was single mom, so she couldn't, like, there was nowhere else for me to go. It was, I got picked up from school, and my mom would work till like 9 p.m., so I would be there from after school, do all the Taekwondo classes, all the MMA classes, every class possible, and then I'd get picked up. So, like, there was nothing that she could, like, do. There's nowhere else I could go. Um, and then my mom got with my stepdad, and he, like, took us out of that. Then that's when I got into basketball.
Mhm.
Other sports, weightlifting, you know, having fun. And then he passed away. So, and then we had to go back to the gym. There was a point that we were living in the gym, actually. Um,
Damn.
yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Um, and then, yeah, it was, I mean, that was like the story, like when I was younger.
So how old are you when the inappropriate shit started?
Oh, I was like 6, 7.
Fucking asshole. Oh my God. Oh, that is heartbreaking, but that was usually
My
humor.
bad.
But oh man, that is
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, because me even finding out. So we were just talking a little bit ago. The week he got picked up, it was either the day of or the day after he got picked up. I was having breakfast with my mom and somebody else that knew who he was. They were having a conversation about him. And a lot of people always kind of had negative things to say about him behind his back, but everyone would always talk with him all kind of, and me, I never saw that. Cause again, I was a kid who knew this person. So like in my eyes, it's like, I see my students as my children. Like I protect my students with a passion. Like I really do. And like I even tell parents like to, you know, I never even tell parents to trust me 100%. Like, dude, these are your kids. Like
Yeah.
you've got to have some separation. Like
Yeah.
I look at parents when they have like too much trust in anybody. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
these are your kids. You can't do that. So, you know, the topic of him possibly being inappropriate with a kid came up during this meal we were having. And I straight up defended him like, nah, he would never. What's wrong with you guys? And all of a sudden, I think it was the day of or the day after, he gets picked up by the cops.
Yeah.
And then I was already going through some fucked up shit. Like my life was already going upside down and I was kind of coming out of it. And then I hear this, it's like, it just messed my head up big time. So like hearing that, you know, he was giving you kids drugs.
Yeah. He was giving us meth.
Yeah, you guys are training on it.
Yeah.
You guys are kids training on meth.
Yeah.
And like for real, we were having conversation with like my old students, like, how the hell are these kids training for 3-4 hours nonstop? Like they're like, you guys are running around circles around everybody. And it's like, what are they giving you? And it's like, then you find like, we can laugh about it now, but it was when all this shit's coming out, it was breaking my freaking heart. Like how bad it was to give you guys meth, make you guys train, and then the sexual assault. And it's like, how evil can you be to create this like family environment? But then, and almost like in a situation where like it felt like, cause like when were you even able to tell your parents what was going on?
I never did.
Not until it all came out?
Not until everything came out.
And this what came out a few years ago. So you're barely like 20?
Yeah, it was 2022. Me and he were actually the way that we found out that he actually got arrested. We were in Disneyland for his birthday, and my mom like called me the day of his birthday, and then but he got arrested June 9th. But she called me and she was like, "Holy shit! Like Ernie K's in jail," and I was like me already knowing, like me already like having been through stuff. I was like I looked at and I was like, holy shit, he got caught. He fucking got caught. And then, but yeah, like right before that, we had left, I think April, and we're already like going back and forth, like we gotta call, like we gotta tell, like we gotta call the cops, we gotta tell them, we gotta do everything that we fucking can. And you know, wasn't really on board with it. She was a little too scared still. But then yeah, this other little girl, like all respect to her, she like beat us to the punch.
I mean, so like part of the story, so the little girl, she moved away.
Yeah.
And for some way, shape, or form, it came out, she was finally felt far enough and free enough to tell her parents what happened. So she told them what happened, and then they contacted police out here.
Yeah.
And then once
He was on a like they were like watching him for 6 months before he got
Really?
caught. Yeah.
shit. I mean, thankfully someone was able to get out and be able to tell something
Yeah.
because how. So we were just talking about another person who was my age. I'm 35, going to be 36. She's around my age, and it was happening to her years ago when we were kids, when I was a kid, and this person was painted out by him to be crazy, and so this is at least a good like 20 years of repetitive action, and you guys came out. You guys, or the little girl came out, they arrested him, and then multiple girls came forward to tell their story and to kind of take it to court. And how many people actually, went to court with it?
I believe it was 7 or 8.
So, 7 people kind of came out to say, hey, we want to take this trial. We want to put him away.
Yeah.
We want to do this. And thankfully, you guys didn't have to go to a full trial.
Yeah.
It's all said and done. He got sentenced. He got, took his plea deal, but he ain't never getting out, which is good. And it sucks because like all you guys had to go through crazy shit. I grew up with his kids, so just to know that his kids are going through the worst type of situation, to have that kind of stigma on them, like I feel for them.
Yeah.
But this just pure evil of what he did, and how just it really just put such a stain on what we do, and like you said, you loved it, and it kind of took your love away from something like that. But and it sucks because the person that's like what we do here in martial art classes, if you're doing shit right, you're trying to build people's confidence up to say, hey, I can survive anything, I can do this and that. But then you got somebody that's just
That same
chipping
person that's
away.
supposed to be uplifting you is bringing you down. That same person that's telling you be confident, be all this, is a person taking it away from you. So it's kind of like what do you do in that situation? Especially being like a kid. Like, I mean, yeah, I started when I was 5, all the way up until like 15. Like my developing years.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to, but gotta put.
And see, I didn't know the part that you never told your parents.
Yeah. No, I didn't tell my mom until like that day that we were in Disneyland, and I was like I'm gonna tell you something. Like it happened to me too. And yeah, I mean that was just 4 years ago.
Yeah. That was 4 years ago now?
Is it? Yeah, 2022?
Oh, geez.
Or about to be 4 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when all that was about to pop off, you guys came to me. You guys wanted to train again.
Yeah.
So you had a class with my little cousin, right? Over at the college. So that's how you guys kind of like, hey, let's come over. So yeah, you guys have, I have no problem.
Yeah.
Now, in the martial art world, when you work with people, you have this like sense of honor and, respect. So like I told you guys, oh, well, you guys can train with me, but I got to let Ernie know. I'm going to say, hey, she could come with me, blah, blah, blah. And you guys had this weird look on your face, like, oh, for sure, cool, whatever. And like, I noticed it, but I didn't really pay too much attention.
Yeah.
And when I spoke with him, he was, oh yeah, that's great, cool. Hope they do well with you, this and that. And but then he tried to like sully your name, said not to trust you with this and that, just be careful with them. I thought that was a little weird, but I was like, I'm like, they're just here to help me train. If even help me out with certain things, whatever, that's fine. Like I wasn't even thinking about you guys, running shit. So like, just wasn't a big deal. And when everything came out, that look you gave, it just popped back in my head. And I was like, this son of a bitch tried to like make you guys seem like bad people. So if anything came out, I wouldn't believe you. And like, he was really like, it's really like those like documentaries like that person that was very charismatic and kind of like
Yeah.
sell you your
That's what you
own.
call a narcissist.
Yeah, he could sell
Fucking
you your own
narcissist.
house. Like that's how he
Yeah.
kind of was. But it's just the stuff that he was doing, just trying to keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, no, like now that you said that, there was this mom at the gym that Ernie had told her, oh, like they're on drugs, they're gonna start spreading lies about me. And I was like, bro, who gave me the drugs? Like, what the hell? Yeah,
I mean,
that
that's
was
like not to put her name up. No, I'm not gonna bring her name up, but like that's what happened to that one girl. You know,
yeah.
became a drug addict, and
Yeah.
just that's how like she tried to come out. She tried to come forward.
Yeah, and the crazy part is her mom didn't fucking believe her. Till this day, her mom stands with Ernie. And fuck you, bitch.
That's horrible. Like for real. Like it breaks my like my mom went to every one of the hearings that you guys had to go through. She went to every single one, and like I couldn't bring myself to go because like I didn't want to cry. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. See, I didn't want him to even be smug in my face because I felt like I would have said something. Like I didn't want to get in trouble. I was like, let me just stay as far away because my mom would tell me. And there was one time I felt bad because I kind of snapped at my mom. I was like, Mom, I want to hear this shit. Because
Yeah.
it's really like messing because this happened in San Jose once before. It wasn't as bad as what you guys went through, but there was an instructor messing with young girls. And he was messing with these teenagers and stuff like that. And it got out because the girls were fighting over him. And like it happened like not too far from where we're at here or over in San Jose. And we just blew up. All of us instructors in the area blew up. It was like, dude, like we watched him compete. We competed with him. He, all this other stuff. How could
Yeah.
this fool be even like this? And then almost 10 years later, this blows up. And it's like, not only is he drugging kids, he's, kind of giving you guys a place where you can't really escape.
Yeah.
And then he's taking your innocence. And it gives us a bad name, but that's the reason why, like, when you wanted to tell your story, I wanted to bring you that opportunity to come out here because it does give people like us a bad name because people that work with kids, but it's like, we're not all like that. These are just really just messed up individuals and we all condemn this shit. Again, like I grew up with him, I know his kids, I know this stuff. And it's like, and I looked up to him. And then now I see this, like, I'm glad he's going away forever. I'm glad he's going to rot. It just, and that's if he makes it.
Yeah.
So I knew somebody that, was telling me how he's being in jail right now. Well, because he's going to be shipped somewhere else. Where he's at right now.
He's already shipped.
Oh, they shipped him already? So like
Yeah.
right after the hearing or right after the sentence and all that stuff, they're saying that how he's being just like a little kiss ass, all this other
Yeah.
stuff. Just that arrogant. Like he's like,
Yeah.
he's got to be like, he's going to get dealt with. One way, shape, or form. And that sweet talk is not going to get him very far where he's going to go, which is horrible. But, so one thing I do want to say is like, when you guys were, pushing forward and pushing through, how proud I am that you guys, stay strong. Cause, I wasn't sure if you guys were going to stick to it as long as you guys did. Cause it was taking a long time.
Yeah.
Like, what was your thought process during the whole, when it just kept getting pushed back or delayed? Or like, what was going through your head around those times?
Like when first.
So like, cause like, the first hearing, the first whatever, it just kept getting pushed back. Cause
Yeah.
this thing went on for you, like you said, almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years, yeah.
So, and just kept getting pushed back. My mom comes back home. Oh, it's got pushed back to another
Yeah,
day. It's
yeah.
like, so what was going through your head? Like, is this ever going to end? Like, what was your thought process during the whole situation?
Well, at first, like the first 2, 3 court, maybe, like we were still on drugs. Like it was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like him giving us meth was like what the fuck? Like, oh god. It was just like I was fiending. Like I was fiending. So the easiest thing was to get coke. Like easiest thing. So like those couple like first court hearings that were just like high as fuck. So it was kind of like, I mean, numb to it. I was very angry. But then like after a while, like maybe after 6 months, I was like, bro, like I'm just wasting my time. Like when it actually comes to like a real, like something real is gonna happen, then I'll be there. But until then, it's like I don't want to give him the satisfaction of him seeing me, because fuck. But then after like, I think this past year is when it got like actually serious. And even then, like it would still get pushed back and it'd get pushed back because fucking knows. He got like fucking broom up his ass or some shit. He came out one time out of court with like a cane because he dropped the soap or something. But yeah, I mean, it was just I just thought like this shit's never gonna go anywhere. Nothing's ever gonna happen. It's never gonna get resolved. And then one day it was like, oh well, trial or like the preliminary hearing. And dude, I went up there and I froze. I froze. I said nothing. Like it was all like stuttering. Like my story was like I was just that was the first time that I ever said anything out loud to like people that were there. Like saying it to him because he was there as well. So I was just like, and then I just broke down crying, and I cried, and I couldn't like I just couldn't say anything. Like I don't know, it was hard to let it out. And then we were supposed to like go to trial, but then he ended up wanting to take a plea deal. So now he's gonna serve 32 years in prison, and he has to be registered as a sex offender. But I mean, 32 years is nothing. I feel like he should have. But I mean, like this man's gonna die in like 10 years.
I mean, he's old. He's not a young
Yeah,
man. He's
yeah.
older. 32 years. By the time he gets out, he's gonna be like old and gray. Like even older. Like he's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Like what breaks my heart is like seeing you guys as kids growing. Like I remember you when you were little.
Yeah.
And then again, the people that went through this shit when they're my age, just seeing this stuff and me just seeing all this stuff, and all I'm seeing is the positive part. And all this comes back, and then I just look back on everything with such a darkness now. And it's like, especially with you know your group, it's like I was just becoming an instructor. I'm like I have my students, my kids, and these are like looking at us like there's like I wish I could have like helped you guys, or like but, there's no way for knowing. But it's like you can't help but have those type of thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
And then even when it came out and you guys came to the studio that day and you guys just all you guys said, so now you see what we were going through. And I was like, I had nothing to say, and like I had no clue how to even just kind of even process that. Because at that point, again, I'm still looking at these kids. You were adults in front of me, but I'm looking at these kids, and it's like I'm looking at my students. And legit, I had a couple students a few months later. I'm teaching classes, and they were like, hey, "Coach, are you okay?" And I'm teaching classes, and I'm like they stopped me in class and said, "Are you good?" And I was like, "No." I wasn't.
Yeah.
You remember my students Beck and Javina and all that?
Yeah.
They're it was Beck that kind of stopped me. She's like, "Are you okay?" Like you've had days when you were like this and that. I was like, but she's like, something's different. And I was like, nah, not okay. Because like I'm just, how could you do? Because this is my world. This is what I love. And like, you just take something like this and you take you guys and just do what he did. It was a lot. And then I had a slow, especially because the certain like Beck and all the like they were my core group at the time when all this happened, and I had to kind of go to each family, kind of give them the rundown of what happened, just because if it comes down to the news, all this other stuff, they're like, I don't want them to come, hey, did you know about this? And so I kind of broke it down to them and just I had to explain because I had students for years that were very affectionate kids, and I had a student that one every day come up and hug me, like never let go, this and that. And at one point, like I straight up told her, look, you're allowed one hug a day. You're allowed to hug me once. And I'm a young man. I'm like 22 at the time, 23 at the time. But like you can't be doing that. And she could not understand why. And for the longest time, she thought I did not like her. I had a problem with her and all this other stuff. And I had to explain to her so many times, like, no, it's not appropriate. And she couldn't understand why, because with everybody else, she's that way. She would sit on people's laps. She would give them hugs. She'd be all head on shoulder, stuff like that. And it's like, that's just the type of person she was. And when this came out, I looked at her in the eyes, tears in my eyes, like, I can't be like affectionate and all this other stuff with you because people like this out here exist.
Yeah.
And then when I told another family, she just bawled. Just started bawling out. Javina, she was crying. And then the mom looked at her, she's like, so that family would like ask me to take the kids because the parents couldn't take them to trainings all the time. So I'd pick them up because we all live in San Jose. And at first I even told the parents, like, dude, like this is like, I can't really be doing this much. Like, well, no, we get it, we need help. They need to train. We trust you, blah, 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 and this and that. Well, once I dropped the bomb on what happened, the mom looked at her and said, so now you see why every time he dropped you off, we grilled you for almost 15 minutes about what happened, how was your day, this and that. Like, because they would grill her and grill her. And when they told me that, I was like, I looked at the parents, I hugged her, I hugged the mom, I was like, I'm so grateful that's how you were. Because again, like you can't give anybody all your trust. Like I love what I do. I love my students. I'll protect them with my life. But it's like as a parent, I'm a dad. Like I have my kid. You have to protect your kids at all costs. And to just one, give somebody complete trust and control over your kid. Two, believe somebody over your child with a passion. It blows my mind. Like what is wrong with people where, they are gonna choose this man over their kid?
And there was plenty of kids like at our gym that their moms were like a thing with Ernie. And boy, oh my. The things that those kids went through because their mom chose Ernie over them is crazy. It's
And what sucks is like his thing was to try to give low income families a
yeah.
place be to be safe, to go somewhere. It was just taking advantage of, people that had vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, like you said, during the beginning of all this stuff, you guys were still, using stuff and everything. Like I see that you're trying to, break free and kind of do better for yourself. What sucks is like, I always ask everybody, how did martial art kind of shape you into the person that you are today? I mean, and it sucks because there's so much negativity that came from it, but there was a love and passion that you were able to experience as a young kid. Is there any like positive that, you hang on to from it? Or did it just kind of completely ruin your experience or your thought process on all that stuff?
I really have like a love-hate relationship with it. I hate it, but then like how can I hate something that I once loved? As of right now, I I still think and act as if I was when I was 10, 11, 15. Um, I feel like how we trained, how everything was, like I carry that with me now and it totally like fucks me up. As in like I want to train, like I want to fight, like I want to do something,
Mhm.
but I'm scared to lose. And why am I scared to lose? Because if we would lose, we'd get our ass beat. Like I mean, I'm so injury prone too. Like I'm made out of glass, but like there's just so much like, yeah, I guess like negative that came with it that I still carry it with me today. And I somehow like can't break out of that.
I mean, from what you wrote this long thing, and I believe that's what you wrote. You read
A part of it I read, yeah.
okay, so you read a part of it. This is a long thing. I read it. I went through it. I read the whole thing, and it was powerful. For what he did, what he took from you, and all this other stuff. And I think, thankfully, that young lady was able to feel safe enough to come forward, and then you guys were able to, let your voices be heard. Stand together and make sure that he got put away, which is kind of like that double-edged sword of his own doing. He just did all the stuff, but the strength and the ability to kind of keep pushing forward and just kind of do what you were trained to do ultimately was his downfall. What I mean? And there's only what 8 of you guys that were there.
Yeah.
That's 8 that came forward. Out of all the years he's been doing this, I know he's been training, have his own place for years and years and
Years,
years.
yeah.
So there's no telling on actual what the number is, but what he did for you guys was his ultimate downfall, where you guys were able to stay strong. Because I know my mom had spoken with some of the parents and how certain girls were just not even sure if they wanted to continue with everything, especially if it went to trial, because then you'd have to go up on the stand and be questioned back and forth.
Yeah, no, I definitely like didn't want to. I like the lawyer called us, like everybody individually, and was like, "Do you want to go to trial?" My I he didn't even finish his sentence. I said no. Like no. I can't. I don't want to. Like I was so stressed. Like I don't know, like going through it. I was thinking about it every day. Like it was just so bad. So I definitely like didn't want to. But
I mean, thank God you didn't have to,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, and like we said, like that 32 years, he's in his late 50s, early 60s already.
Yeah.
That's taking him way past his ability to do anything afterwards. Plus, I think from what I heard too, once he's done with that sentence, he has to go into some like a psychiatric facility.
Yeah, like a
So he's
mental.
not actually going to get out if he does. If he
Yeah.
lasts that 32 years, he's going into another facility. So it's like he's still gone for the rest of his life. But like you said, like you nowadays, you are training other people.
Yeah.
And what has that experience been like? Because again, you went through this whole situation. Now you are now a coach. You are training other people. And what type of like, what has that done to you mentally?
I feel like now that I've done both, now that I've been like the athlete and the coach, I feel like I've always meant to be. I feel like my actual like true passion is to be coaching. At first, I hated it. I hated it because kids wouldn't listen, and it would just piss me the fuck off. Adults wouldn't listen, and that's what you get. But then, like, I really like talked to, I was like, dude, like, I'm mean. I'm mean as fuck. And like, why am I mean? Because I was always meant to be. Because like when I was training, like you have to be mean. You have to be a bitch. Like you have to be this way. And it's like, well, I don't. Like I don't have to. But coaching is, I don't know, like I hate it some days, but like the love that I have for it is just like 10 times more than the hate.
So I was actually teaching class today. I was talking to the students, all this stuff, because some of the students come in with a bad attitude or
Yeah.
they're tired. I'm like, what the heck are you tired for? You were babysat at school all day. But I was like, dude, you think that like I like doing this every single day? I should have told them, like, look, there's sometimes certain students, like I probably shouldn't say this to my students, but I was like, there'll be certain students walk in, like, I don't want to deal with this kid today. But then there'll be those days where all of a sudden something clicks and everything's moving, everything's grooving. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, I'm having the best time of my life. Yeah. Like I get that tingle down my, like, it's like, I'm exactly where I need to be. Because yeah, it could be what we do is so stressful. Kids are, addicts with their screens. They're babied. You can't touch them. You can't do nothing. So anytime you tell them to do something, they don't even respond to punishment like they used. Like, it's just like, you can't get them to move. And then out of nowhere, there's this day where everything just feels like it flows. And it's like, it's hard to explain. It's that euphoric feeling where you are exactly where you need to be. You're doing what you love. And it's not just benefiting what we're us, it's benefiting somebody else. Yeah. And that's why I tell everybody, training in martial arts is important in general, because it kind of shows you who you are in a certain way. But then when you get to that certain point, sharing it. That's why here at our studio, when you get your black belt, we don't give them their certificate right away. So when I probably shouldn't say this, but when we test them and we submitted everything, all that stuff, their certificate comes within like a few months, but we make them a full year. And my students actually have to come and teach at least 1 hour a week. I have a whole log form and everything. They have to like come, write their hour. I sign it off. And if they don't complete their 52 hours,
they don't get that certificate.
They don't get, like, I still have I think there's like 4 or 5 certificates in the cabinet over there because they never finished their 52 hours, because there is that piece and it kind of shows you where you were in your training, what it meant to you as your training. And it starts to show people like what, your instructor dealt with now, because now you're not just a student. Now you're kind of passing it on. And I've seen some kids love and thrive with it. Like one of my students, so the first podcast of this one, she loved teaching. It wasn't necessarily like she wanted to teach martial arts, but then she loved working with kids and working with students, stuff like that. Then she became a occupational therapist and working with special needs. And because that's where she found that passion, because she was teaching. And then she was telling a story where she was teaching a class and there's this young lady, and I don't remember her name, but she was the most adorable student ever. But she had, I believe, Down syndrome. And she would teach her class all the time. Like so other students didn't want to go or help with that class. That's where she kind of developed that love and passion, because, what we do is so much more than just punches and kicks. Yeah. So like, what kind of training you guys do? Because it's not Taekwondo, right?
Nah. I mainly train boxing, Muay Thai. Mm-hmm. I ultimately want to train MMA, but everybody's just all talk. Nobody really trains. Like nobody really wants to train. Like when it comes down to it, like I get fights booked, and like it just end up falling off. So, I have no time for that no more. But my main focus, honestly, is kids, teaching kids. I love going to competitions and having these kids like whoop other kids' ass. Oh my God. Like, it just feels so good. Like, these kids come looking like shit. Oh my God, they suck. And then like a month later, like a big old turnaround. I'm just like, damn, like I did that, but you did that. And you did that because I did that. And I don't know, like, I just,
It's amazing, right?
yeah.
I don't remember if it was on this podcast or if it was a different or something with somebody else, but so you know, Andres, like he was like the little short
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So he's my height now. Him and my other Aaron, like he was here when you guys were helping out.
Yeah.
So we went to the tire claw competition last year. It was just him and those two, and I think it was 3 other boys. They went and fought these 2 dudes, gapped them both. Then Aaron went and fought, gapped him too. Just destroyed these guys. And then I led them to go out there and fight each other. I was like, do you guys want to fight each other or flip a coin? Like, we'll fight. And they just went off on each other. I'm over here talking smack to both of them. He got kicked in the head. He got you. What are you going to do about it? It was the most fun experience. And again, like same time, like we have everybody watching these 2 black belts just destroy everybody and then beat the crap out of each other. Have a great day. It's like that. Dude, like they just put on a show and people like, you know, just watching them and asking questions with them later and coming up to me. It's just like, it's just this great gratification of something. Just like, wow, like we did this. Like, you know, they put on the best show ever and I helped them reach that level. And it's like, there's that little selfishness because, you know, I did that. But at the same time, you see them perform to a level you've never seen them perform before.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I'm so proud of you. Like,
exactly.
Like, oh my, this first kid that I used to train, he was a karate kid. Like, basic karate, like, sorry, I hate karate. Karate's so useless. But he was a karate kid, but he loved to fight. He loved to fight. And he was the first kid that I ever trained from, like, not from my old gym. So I was like, okay, like, you know, still stuck in how, like, my coach would train me. Hella hard, like, always on it. Dude, this kid, like, we went to tournaments. He was so good. Like, he would get people, like, people recognized us because of him. People were like, dang, like, your coach is a girl and you're this good. Like, I would get people like DMing me, people coming up to me, oh, like, your kid's so good. And I was like, dude, like, do you hear that? Like, you're so good. Like, I don't know, like that, the recognition, I feel like feels so good now. And that it's good. Now that it's good.
I mean, there'll be times we walk into competitions, all of a sudden, like my students will be walking by, and all of a sudden, like a coach will be like, oh crap, that girl's here again.
Yeah.
And it's like when you hear that, like, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's funny because remember when my hair was long?
Yeah.
We walk in, there'll be times we all come in with braids. Oh man, the braids are here. That was hecka funny. Dude, I get it. And I was terrified that what you guys went through would just kind of like, I mean, but you guys were still doing it, but like would just kind of like throw you off from, you know, just doing what we do. And because I tell people, if you ever trained and you ever took it serious, you're always a martial artist. Are you a practicing one? Yes or no, but you're always a martial artist, and there's always a part. It's always a part of you. It's beaten into you.
Yeah,
if you're trained well, it was beaten into you at some way, shape, or form. And I was just hoping and praying that it just didn't throw you away from it. So when I saw that you guys were still training people, like it warmed my heart. And then just to see you kind of like post what you had to say, what you wrote down was just like, it touched me. And like, I think one of my biggest regrets is I never did go to any of the hearings, but it's just like, it just tore me up so much to even kind of like hear it and see it. It was just, it came to such a surprise to me. And what kills me too is there's a lot of people when, oh, you know, I want to train, I want to put my son in or my daughter into this. And I'm like, what area do you live in? And then I would recommend people to go that area. So it's like, I don't know who went and stayed. I don't know what happened. And like that thought just ate away at me for such a long time. Cause like, and then I just to not even understand what was going on, where I was sending people. And then I would even bring my kids to do trainings there. Like I would never let them go without me because just that's how I was. Like, you don't do things without me. I don't do things without you. You know, we do things as a group, whatever. So it's like, you know, he invited us to stuff or whatever. We'd all go together, but it's like, dude, like I was bringing kids into the bear's den.
Yeah.
And it was like, just how close we were to just such, madness. And I'm not, I'm sending my kids to go fight methed out children.
Holy
And like,
shit, that's
like,
true. That's
and
true.
my kids are getting fucked up. Like you guys were beating the crap out of my students. And like, yes, the skill was there, but it's like, there was this extra line. And it's like, dude, I was literally having my kids go fight against these just yacked out
Those
kids.
freaking crackhead kids.
And like, just think like, just so impressed. Look at how strong they are. Look how fast they have endurance for days.
Yeah.
And then to find out this shit, I was like, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like the him giving me drugs, I was like maybe, yeah, I think I was 20, honestly. But like, there's some girls that he gave them some shit when they were like under 13, and that's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine myself. I mean, like, my first sip of alcohol, the first time I ever smoked weed was with him. I was 11. And, being like drunk or being hungover, like on Saturday trainings for 4 hours was so brutal. And like, like being high and like having to like run miles the next day, I was like, oh God. But like to be like a 13-year-old, 12, 11-year-old kid on meth, God, that's crazy. I could never.
Dude, I can't even imagine. Dude, just like how evil somebody is to even think of that. I have families from the studio that were like, oh, hey, we have a family party, come over here. So I'm meeting their whatever. And like, it's a party. So they have beers and stuff like that. And like, I was an adult, I drank beers and stuff like that. And one of my students like, hey, coach, you need another beer? Not from you. I wouldn't even let them hand me a beer. Like, to me, it just wasn't appropriate. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't let them see me do anything. I wouldn't, if I was drinking, it was with the adults, but I wouldn't like even let them interact with it. Like, no, that's, you guys with the kids, I'm with the adults, you stay over there. Like, that's how I felt with it. It's like, dude, like this whole mixing of worlds and everything was just outlandish to me. And it was funny because I would see his interaction with people and how you just hold court and just talk with everybody, talk the ear off. And again, like I'm never comprehending or really looking at it from a skeptical perspective. And when all this came out, yeah, I hated that guy or I didn't trust that guy. But I was like, all y'all that used to talk and laugh and like, you guys did not like this person? Like, and like, you, like, I just never picked up on, never saw it. And like, they said, yeah, like I just never trusted him the way he was. He was always a snake. And it's like, what was wrong with me that I couldn't see it? And I had a conversation with mom about it. I was like, dude, like what, like, how did I not notice this? Like, she's like, dude, you were a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid just seeing something and I'm only like picking up what was good about it or what seemed nice about it. And it was like, just to hear everyone else's opinion about it, it was like, damn, like I was really, blind to the fact of what was kind of right in front of you. Just like.
Which is what he did to a lot of people. Like, even like before, he would always say, like, don't ever trust any of these masters. Like, none of these masters like me. Like, all they do is talk shit about me. And it's like, bruh, like, you're the problem. Like, you're literally the problem. Nobody likes you. Who the fuck's gonna like you? Besides big old booty fucking, what's her name's mom?
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that there was some sort of resolution in your guys' favor. I'm glad he's going away. I feel for everybody who's been affected negatively. I mean, and it's just your story. There's so many countless others out there. And just to kind of get it out there, say, hey, look, there are some horrible people out there, but it's not everyone. Not everyone. That what we do is positive, but you have to be very, very leery of what's going on. You have to pay attention to what's going on with your kids. I mean, there's parents that just, I've almost haven't seen any of them since they signed the contract. And it's like, there's the overbearing parents, which is hard to deal with. Like, let me teach. Like, step off the mat, step back there, let me do my job. Every time you open your mouth or you say something, it's like you're countering what I'm doing here. But then you have the ones where it's like, oh, that's great. That's who you're their parent. It's like,
yeah,
there has to be this little happy medium. But anything, from your whole experience as a martial artist and what you went through, any advice you have for anybody from what your experience was when it comes to like, just martial arts and just kind of dealing with the bullshit?
I think one thing that like I always tell myself is like, don't let somebody else paint how you are. Don't let somebody else tell you how you are. You are who you are, and don't let nobody change that. Another thing is like, dude, keep pushing. Like shit's gonna be thrown at you. Like, what are you gonna do with it? I don't believe everything happens for a reason. I believe something happens. Now, what are you gonna do with it? And that's something that I believe. I will always believe because there's two choices. You could go one way or you could go another way. Imagine we all went fucking to shit.
Like some have.
Yeah, and like that's not what I want to be. Like you said, like Ernie like made us want to be a certain way. But like I was that way and I am now that way towards him and have always been. He wanted us to be like these badass kids and it's like, well, this badass kid is a reason why you're where you're at. So I guess it's like just seeing like the good shit and everything. Some people have it worse, is what I tell myself. So some people, like gone through this shit and maybe not here. They may have, like ended their life and shit. So the fact that the fact that I'm still here, like, and there was times that I was just like, God damn, like, I'm gonna fucking go kill myself real quick. But nah, like I could never let a fucking weenie like be the reason why I end my life. And
you said you hate to lose and you ain't gonna let that motherfucker win.
Yeah, like he said, winners win and quitters quit. Look at this fool. He for sure quit.
Well, I'm so thankful you came and did this. I'm thankful that you wanted to tell your story, kind of get it out there. Very brave of you. Not everybody want to kind of get out there and say it, but thank you for doing that. And I'm very proud of you for where you're at. And I wish you all the good luck with everything that you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. This has been the MAQ Attack podcast. Past, present, future, just tackling life from martial arts perspective. Thank you, Miss Priscilla.
Thank you.
We out.